But to revisit something as traumatic as abuse can be frightening up front, but it's certainly worth the healing that's going to come out on the other end.
Hey there, folks. I want to take a moment today to talk with you about losing your shit. How many people listening here have had that experience? You know, you're trucking along in life and it feels like things are going all right, and then something happens and boom, you go from 0 to 60 just like that, and you literally lose your shit. You find yourself in anger or rage, yelling, storming. Losing your shit can also look like going super silent and withdrawing and giving people that stone cold, you don't matter to me kind of look. So, when it comes to healing from trauma, part of our job and our journey is learning how to manage those little eruptions. When we have an instance where something comes into our environment and we have that feeling of like, ooh, I'm about to lose it on you, what do we do? How do we take a step back? And how do we breathe? I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the strategies that I use, but first, let's take a few lessons from the dung beetle. Sometimes when we're healing, it's like we're carrying around all of this shit. And we're working really, really hard to evolve and to make it to the top of the mountain and to climb and strive and making all of these efforts, all the while that we have this shit that we are carrying with us. And so we keep pressing on and we keep challenging. And then you know what? Sometimes you just lose your shit. Everything starts to fall apart. You go rolling down that hill again. You're struggling, you're facing something hard, and you might land, and then, oh my gosh, I'm losing my shit. It's gone. And away it goes. And then we get to move on in our lives. Now, if you're like me, I certainly would have loved if all of the shit in my life had just kept rolling on down the hill away from me. If I could have just released it and let it go, like this sweet little dung beetle has done. And then, just step on. All right, well, okay, it's gone. Here I go. It's not always that easy, though, is it, folks? So, I want to just encourage you today, as you're out there in life experiencing this journey, to begin to recognize, first of all, the shit that you're carrying around. Awareness and naming and noticing is always the first step. What are you actually holding on to that you might not actually need to hold on to any longer? What would it be like? What would it feel like to just let all of that shit roll away? In my own journey, one of the things that I had to actually learn how to do first before I could do some of that was get really comfortable with anger. I had to find that place in myself where I could voice all of those things that I was hurt by, that I was upset by, that I was pissed off about. I had to begin investigating and looking what was in my shit bucket, in other words, and begin pulling those things out. As hard as it was sometimes, as much as I didn't want to, it was dirty, it was gross, I didn't want to mess with any of it. I wanted to keep everything looking nice. But it's not the reality of life. And I also want you all to know that we're not meant in this journey to have it all together all the time. You might lose your shit every once in a while. But our job in those moments is to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, come back to a center grounded place, and to keep moving forward. So just sending you some loving encouragement today to keep going, keep noticing, and stay on your path to healing.